Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Honey Don't, and this is a new, dark comedy, neo-western crime thriller coming to you from Ethan Coen, written by himself and his wife Trisha Cook, who also co-edited the film. And this particular film focuses on the story of Honey O'Donoghue, played by Margaret Qualley, who is a private investigator in this small desert town, and who delves into a series of strange deaths tied to a mysterious church led by a big, rambunctious, horny preacher played by Chris Evans. And this film is a lean, mean, hour and 28 minutes that honestly always has something interesting going on. Something crazy and wild and bonkers and horny and sexy and funny. It just has so many things going on in this film that even when the narrative isn't 100% coming together, there's always something that's engaging you and grabbing your attention throughout. And that's such a Coen thing, where films like The Big Lebowski and Burn After Reading have this randomness, this strange, like, what's even going on here kind of feel to them. But it really channels that Coen energy of a bit of nihilism, a bit of, what's this all mean? There is no meaning to this. Life is awkward and violent and weird and strange, and it takes us to the most unexpected places. And Honey Don't has that vibe, has that energy. I think what Coen is able to do here is really channel that neo-western vibe that they captured with No Country for Old Men and Raising Arizona, and those kinds of Western motifs in a modern setting. And I think that this film really captures this small desert town setting so well. Ari Wegner, who's a cinematographer, this film is crisp, it has grit, it feels tangible, and it also feels very old school. This feels like it's some kind of 70s vibe kind of crime thriller, and I think that really works. This film is a lot more serious than Drive-Away Dolls, which is very campy, over the top, and ridiculous. This has that, but I feel like it keeps a more straight-laced tone through a decent chunk of the film, that it does certainly have that dark comedic wit of the Coens, and you can really feel that, especially in Qualley's performance. She has a lot of great, very snarky one-liners just zipping at people throughout the film. Chris Evans is big and boisterous and really comes at you with his comedic timing. But just overall, I think this film balances that and also delivers some crazy, awkward, shocking violence, just like you expect from a Coen Brothers film. And this film has plenty of really impactful scenes and sequences and minor characters, because it's a Coen film. It has to have great minor characters with some expertly chosen character actors to bring them to life. This film is just stuffed with interesting characters and wild occurrences. Now, narratively, it is very loose, and it's coming together and threading together as the film goes on and really starts coming into focus, because there's layers to this. There's these deaths that all lead back to this church. You also have Honey's family, and at one point something happens to one of her family members, and is it connected? How's it all going to come together? In the third act of the film, there's a particular choice with a character that feels so out of left field. It really torpedoes a lot of the momentum and the connection of the film, that it almost ruins the film, because for so much of this was firing, this was delivering, this was top tier, high quality Coens right here. But this third act really does drag the film down in such an awkward way that it doesn't quite torpedo the film, but it does make it lower tier Coen by the time you get to the credits rolling, even though the last scene of this movie, which alludes to some things to really tie the story together, it delivers. It's fantastic. But this film, lower tier Coens is still better than most directors and what they can do. And you can definitely tell that Ethan Coen still has this great grasp of neo-Western motifs and elements like that, and crime thriller and that dark crime comedy. And that all works. I think Margaret Qualley is fantastic. She is the muse of Coen and Cook, leading both of their films together so far, and I think she just has this, there's something alluring about her. She has this presence, this control for most of the film, and will throw out like a snarky comment here and there and perfect comedic timing. She also has, she's very seductive, and the sexual tension between her and Aubrey Plaza in this film, and they do not hold back in them with their sexual interactions with each other. This film is sexy and horny and goes places, and these two are fiery together. And I think what happens with Plaza's character feels like a big stretch, but Plaza is always game for it and sells it well. Chris Evans plays such a jerk, and he's constantly utilizing this church for his own sexual desires. He's horny, he is creepy, he is hilarious, honestly. He gets so frustrated, and Evans just sells that energy so well. There's Laura Abova, who is a very sensual and seductive character in this film, very French. And the whole opening sequence of this film is through her perspective. And that opening scene is such a great hook and just pulls you right in. And I think Abova is such a big part of that. And you have all these other characters with some good subplots, but honestly, some of the most fun side performers is like Charlie Day is this completely inept cop that is constantly trying to get Honey to go out with him, and he's so aloof to the fact that she is obviously a lesbian who tells him every time she likes girls, and he's just like, haha, you said that last time. And it's just like, yeah, because it's true, duh, guy. And he's so funny throughout the film. Even Billy Eichner pops up for like 2 scenes and really steals it with his Billy Eichner just vibe to him, and his comedic timing, his facial expressions. But it's really kudos to this whole ensemble of minor character actors, because they sell every single little every little character throughout this film. It might be a little too loose for some. The third act certainly struggles to keep the great momentum that the film had going, but this is still a wild, bonkers film with an incredible opening credit sequence and great needle drops. It just has all the Coen vibes not in short supply. It's certainly there. It delivers. And overall, it's still such an electric experience and such a fun time at the movies. But those are my thoughts on Honey Don't. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.